Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to a tour video for a castle in the Disney save. So firstly, quickly, just really quick before we start today's tour video, I just want to address, this is my first video back after my couple of months hiatus, so I hope you guys enjoy. I am going to get into some things and thoughts and details and updates going on with the save file in a future video. Today's video, we're just going to focus on the tour video for this castle that you guys should have seen in the previous speed build. If you missed the speed build, it is linked in the Disney save playlist down below. Check that out first. But if you want to check out a little bit more of the castle, all the things that got cut from that speed build video, stay tuned. And today we're going to go through the entire castle, or most of it, I would say. Because the thing about this castle is actually, it's not all connected. It's made to look like it's all connected, but it's not. As with a lot of my builds, they are more aesthetically to look one way necessarily than functionally to act another way. They still are completely functional, obviously, but let's get into the castle itself. The first thing I just want to point out immediately with this castle that some of you may have already noticed is going to be like some weird little things on the castle itself. So for example, this floating wall that has this end cap that's not connected, and there's one over here as well. This is simply because, and these walls back here, this is simply because we are currently in the build version of my save file, and this adjustment requires tool, and I actually wait until these are imported into the Disney save to implement tool because I think it's unnecessary to do it here and sometimes actually causes more issues for me. I would rather just do it once in the actual save file. So once this is put in the save file, that will be adjusted, these back walls that we're using as like exterior defense walls. And the other thing, just because I know somebody's going to point it out, yes, there's cars in Henford on Bagley. Yes, it doesn't fit the vibe of some of the things that I've put into the save file. I actually fully intend to put bushes over these cars and trees and things like that, or something to cover them up. So ignore it. But besides all of that, let's get into the actual castle. So the first thing you'll notice, just quick little zoom around, it kind of has three portions to it. So the first portion is this big exterior wall, which is completely its own thing. It's not connected to the main portion of the castle at all. That was actually not something I wanted originally, but because of the terrain on this lot, it sort of had to be that way. So again, weird game mechanics issue, but nevertheless, it functions. That's all we really need. So we've got that as like the main portion around the castle. Then we have the castle structure, this center dwelling here. It is going to be where most of the characters live in their bedrooms. And then just a real quick peep downstairs. Of course, that exterior wall goes around the castle, and so there is also like a downstairs area linked to both, which we will show off in a few moments here. So firstly, let's go through the front door. I suppose we might as well, just to start the video off. And the very, very first thing you're going to notice is potentially an inaccuracy in the castle. I went back and forth a lot about how I was actually going to do this, but I believe this door is supposed to technically enter to the main throne room, but because of the way that the castle was laid out and the terrain and everything, it was almost entirely impossible for me to do it and have the space to give it justice. So I opted for this entryway. And you're going to catch the vibe pretty much immediately in this castle. I went for lots of woodwork, lots of stone, medieval, brown tones, natural wood tones. Tried to keep it very minimal with the furniture. But this is just the immediate entryway of the castle. These stairs back here are going to lead you up to the main bedroom, so we will go up there in a minute. The downstairs leads you to the throne room. But first we'll just pop into some of these side locations. Just a front entryway, little nook, waiting area, library, study, whatever you'd like to call it. I did go back and forth on using these chairs because they're a little bit modern, but they're one of the few chairs in the game that has fur on them. So, you know, you got to give a little And then the other two doors over here, these are all connected to those towers that you guys saw on the exterior. One is a bathroom, or one is a like a powder room, just to add some additional areas like that. And then this one is a full-size bathroom. Again, lots of natural wood. There's quite a mismatch of furniture in here in terms of packs. I don't think it doesn't go together, but I don't think a lot of people would necessarily use this bathtub in here, but I just think it kind of fits the vibe. It's one of the only wooden tubs that we have that isn't that one that's like handmade, handcrafted, that can kind of look like it doesn't fit a royal necessarily. So I guess we should go maybe downstairs first. And hopefully this isn't going to be as easy to tour. Like, the downstairs levels are never as easy. But if you go from the room we were just in, so here's kind of an overview of that with the little towers on each end. You go down one level, these stairs. This is kind of just a passageway down because, again, I was having, and you can see here, a lot of issues with the terrain and the leveling of each room. So this room was not able to be made as large as I needed it to be to create the throne room. So I had to go down one more level. So this ended up just being like a general passageway. You can kind of look down into it. I think it creates more structure for the castle as well and helps it feel more within the time period. And then this is the throne room. And I love this. I think it's so fun. I did the chairs in here, like, for each character. They each have, like, their own chair. The triplets sit on the end. Merida and her mother have similar type of chairs. And then the king has this very oversized wooden chair that's very decorative. So I just smushed two chairs from City Living together. I thought it was kind of fun with the bears and everything. And here is the general space where the lords gather for Merida's engagement, betrothal, what have you. And this also doubles as the main dining room that they show in most of the movie. So this is the same area as far as I could tell in the movie. And so you would just kind of like remove these, right? Like if you wanted to use this space as a big open, like maybe put some what would you call them, benches right throughout here instead of having the dining. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to use this space to play with the family. So I just wanted to kind of line up a really massive royal dining table. And I even thought maybe the lords and stuff can kind of fit. That's why there's so many chairs. So that is this beautiful space. I'm so happy with how this turned out. Minimal, medieval, decorative, really fun. And then I added this. This is not a part of the movie. I think I mentioned this in the speed build, but I believe, like I mentioned, this door here would actually be the main entrance to the castle. Again, because of the mechanics of the game, this is sort of how I worked out to do this. But instead of wasting the space and to make this more of like a functional downstairs area, I opted for this really big, like, I don't know what you would call it. I guess just foyer. And my thought was, if we ever get archery added to The Sims, maybe it'll fit in here. Maybe it would fit like on the ends here and be long enough so that you could practice it in here. I thought that might be really cool. And then again, just for like party purposes and the purposes of maybe using the space in terms of the movie, I just thought it would be so inconvenient for your Sims to have to go upstairs or outside to cook. So I wanted to add a little kitchen in here. And then there is a bathroom down here as well, just so we keep everything nice and tight and functional. Because technically, I believe this castle has a beautiful kitchen, which I'll show you guys in a minute, but it doesn't have a kitchen in the main unit of the castle, that main tower where the bedrooms are, unless I added this. So I just added it as a way for Sims to be able to kind of come and get food really quickly. Really cute, kind of simple. Still love it though. This is a sparring area. That's what I was trying to come up with. I created this as like a sparring area. Again, something we don't really have, but fingers crossed for a medieval pack, because that's what it's planned for. And then this beautiful throne room that I'm so ecstatic about. I hope you guys like it. This was really fun to make. Okay, so going up, we can zoom out a little bit here. Again, this is the very bottom portion of the castle. Up one floor, you're going to see the first bit of the castle exterior walls. And again, they're not connected to the main structure, but one thing that I noticed with Brave, when I was trying to get screenshots of things to help decorate, is that oddly enough, even though in my mind I thought that this castle was really simple and not going to need a lot of decor, because they're royals, they had so many little knickknacks, paintings, sculptures, vases, fireplaces, chairs, and things like that, like scattered in the hallways that are kind of just background furniture, right? It's not really super important, but rather than leave this empty, these types of areas, I wanted it to be accurate to the movie. So especially these like main tower areas, because as you can see, this is where the tower base sits. So these ladders go up to the towers that are shown on the exterior. This is where guards would sit and kind of like watch the castle grounds. So we needed some comfortable areas, but the hallways itself has little details. It's got like the candles, it's got the woodwork, extra chunks of stone that are kind of like misplaced and misshapen. Definitely intentionally put in here just to add a little bit of detail. And then every time you go through a door, you're at one of the main towers, and there's a ladder that'll bring you up and down so that you can get to the outside. I think that's one full rotation around, more or less. So that's the downstairs. Nothing too impressive, and actually Arendelle Castle has something similar, but it was slightly differently done. So I just wanted to show that really quickly. So we'll go through some of the exterior wall stuff, and I just want to point out a couple of things. So one of the things that we have is this, what I would say is like the actual entrance to the castle from the side here. And this is the main tower. This tower is not connected to anything else. So it has a couple of hidden doors for guards and groundskeepers and things to be able to go up the ladder so that they can access the top points of the tower. Very simple weapons and things in here. Just a place to kind of keep an eye on things. But that's like the main tower. The thing that is kind of fun about this castle is the amount of extra bedrooms and things that I tried to insert so that there was... I hate uploading castles to the gallery. Where's my tab button? I can't even think straight. I hate uploading castles to the gallery and saying like, oh, it's a 3-bedroom castle, because it just makes no sense. So I've really been trying my best to find excuses to add extra bedrooms, even though they're not going to be necessary for the household. They are necessary in terms of like the aesthetic. And I don't know what people are going to do with the save. Like maybe you want to create future families, future households. Maybe you're going to combine and kind of cross characters. Maybe you're going to go like crazy with it. I don't know. But I wanted room for Sims to grow up. There's triplets in this household. Their bedrooms don't really fit in the main structure, or at least not for 3 of them. So this at least creates more space for just random bedrooms. So I called this like a guard's... Where am I going? I called this like a guard's room, or some of the help around the castle, some of the servants and things. Maybe this is one of their spaces. Maudie does have her own bedroom, so stay tuned in a second for that. So this is kind of its own structure. This main tower here, its own structure. This one is not connected to anything either. Again, I will lower this wall so that it's not weirdly sticking up. And then this portion is actually this, starting from this tower right here, all the way around the back side of the castle is one piece. So that's kind of cool. And there's also a pathway on the top here. So again, we've got this little guard tower, extra bedroom where the guards sleep, where the various castle staff sleep. And then you've got this exterior walkway to get to this portion. So I'm actually really excited to show off this little chunk of the castle over here, because this is the main kitchen, which is shown pretty frequently in the movie. I believe it's actually connected to the main part of the castle in the movie, and it's where a lot of the scenes take place. So I really wanted it to be accurate and lived in and beautiful and really busy, which is kind of what they showed in the movie. So I love this kitchen. I love the clutter. I love how much stuff is hanging around. I love how old it looks and natural, and the candles and the baked goods. I had so much fun doing this kitchen. I just think it is so unique to this castle. Really pretty. And it is directly, you'll see these stairs that kind of go off to the side here, directly off of Monty's room. Her room is upstairs, so we'll go upstairs in just a second. I just wanted to go through this little hallway here because there's one more. This leads to the back structure of the castle, that like big chunk I showed you guys around the back. But there's like one little closet in here, a pantry, if you will, a servant's closet, right off of Monty's bedroom. So she has access to the tower, she has access to the closets, the kitchen, and then she has her own space. She's a main caretaker for the triplets, so she gets a little bit of a nicer setup in here. But right up the stairs, Monty's room. This has not been play tested. I need to emphasize that. There might be some changes in the final version. I think I'm going to have a conflict with this room, but kind of pretty, right? A little bit more intricate than maybe some of the other servant spaces because she's kind of like the head of the servants, I would say. And then she has the ability to go out and walk along the pathways, get to the other towers. She can go out the other door in her space, go this way, more towers, more exterior walkway. So she can get around from her room pretty easily. The only thing that she can't do is go directly into the castle, but it's a quick walk. Like, it's this door right here, down and up through the main archway to get to the main castle. Okay, and so the only thing left to show, and I'm sorry that this isn't as, like, this is more me jumping around from room to room, because the way this castle is structured, it kind of requires me to do that. There's not as much like walking around. You kind of go up and down rather than flat and around. I'll show you the main bedroom. So from the downstairs where we walked in earlier, I added this bump out around the back so that we could get stairs. Traditionally, a castle like this would have spiral staircases that kind of hug the walls in a very beautiful, intricate spiral around this tower to get you to your main floor, but we don't have that in The Sims, so this was the only solution I could come up with. So if you go up one floor, we have the parents' bedroom. The king and queen. Very simple. Some clutter and bits and things still around. Fur, green, weapons, like some books and things. Eleanor is definitely, like, she reads, but she would also keep her room very clean, you know, and they do show her room quite a bit in the movie. One of the reasons I wanted them to have this space is because this has two doors that lead off to towers, and the towers have balconies. So I thought that was pretty appropriate for the royals. So they've got that one there, and then they've got the one that faces off the front of the castle. Really, really cool. So they can have that grand moment. And then this door right here is going to take you into the triplets room. Because I wanted them to have, like, easy access to triplets, the ability to, you know, put them to sleep quickly, get to them quickly. They can kind of come into this space for general play and things. I didn't have a ton of room to be able to put them into the, like, their own room or their own space. This castle was very complicated to lay out. I spent like an entire day trying to figure out how I was going to get everything to fit in here. And ultimately I decided this was one of the best ways to do it, is just give them this little room right off the side. It's small, but it serves its purpose. It's exactly what we need for some toddlers. I wanted the canopy beds in here. They're a little modern, but we don't have a lot of options for toddler beds, unfortunately. So very simple, quick and easy for Monty to get to as well. Close for the parents. And then last but not least, here's a quick overview of all of that, the toddlers' rooms and the balconies. If we go up one floor, and you will notice this is the one compromise I had to make, is this ladder, because I couldn't put another set of stairs in here. It was going to create a lot of weird issues with the doors. This was a nightmare to plan out, to say the least. So this was the only compromise on the ladder to Merida's room, which I think works with her character, and she's the only one I would have been okay to do this with. It does mean the toddlers can't come up into her room without, I think, being carried, but I didn't really mind that. And here's her beautiful room. It's so fun. It's so like her. They had a lot of really amazing shots in the movie where they just kind of like panned around the room slowly, so I was able to take a lot of details from the movie, and I was excited about that. There's some stuff in here that's missing. There is like a lack of archery elements in here. But the really big main things was her canopy bed, her little window space that had clutter and books where she could sit and read or just sit and kind of be and exist. She had this area where she could wash and freshen up, and like her very, very few clothing items, some weapons, some swords. She's got a fireplace. Everybody's got to have their own fireplace in the royal lifestyle. Everyone's got their own fireplace in their room. And her little rocking chair horse. It's cute. It's different. It's so much different than a lot of the Disney rooms that we've done so far for like main characters such as Merida. And she gets to be at the top of the castle. I just feel like she would love that so much. And every royal really got their own space. So everybody's got these nice big bedrooms. It feels very appropriate for the characters. There's really a ton of space in here. Sometimes I feel like that view doesn't really show how much surface area we got going on here, but there's a lot. So that's pretty much it for Castle DunBroch. I hope you guys liked it. It's not available on the gallery right now. Like I said, I have to play test it. I'm actually in the process of play testing Hemford on Bagley, but Hemford on Bagley is done. I have another castle speed build coming up very soon. I've got a world tour video for an old world that I never finished coming soon and out and ready to go for people to download as well. Really, really excited for some videos that are coming up. I will talk about lots of stuff in future videos. Let me know what you thought of Castle DunBroch down in the comments below. I do have a Patreon for the Disney Save if you would like to support and get some access to some perks that I offer for the Disney Save. Check that out in the description below or the link at the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a good one. Bye, everybody.